Here's a fact. Over the past few months, I have asked approximately 50 restaurant owners and managers what their number one pain point is in running their business. And 45 of those 50 stated that managing and motivating employees was their top pain in the ass issue that they wish would just go away forever. Okay, so today I'm gonna give you the 10 most amazing interview questions I have crafted over time so you can hire the best Rockstar staff ever, and you will definitely want to stay tuned for number 10 because it is by far the best kept secret interview technique of all time. I kid you not. All right, how y'all doing today? Dave Allred, the Real Barman here from barpatrol.net. So where do we start? Well, the key is to hire better so that you can hire less, and in the process, you'll have fewer ass pains in the day-to-day operations of your business. Okay, over the years, I've changed my philosophy on hiring, mostly because while speaking with other restaurant owners, I found out that their best employees were the ones they hired based on their personality as opposed to their experience. In fact, if you think about it, the more experience someone has in the hospitality business, the more likely they are to have picked up horrible habits and even worse attitudes. Okay, unfortunately, we in the restaurant industry are a jaded, damaged bunch. All right, the remedy? Well, you've already guessed it, I'm sure, because you are smart as a whip. When it comes to hiring, personality and attitude are king. And that means I try to find someone with a bubbly, energetic personality and someone who genuinely cares about other people and not just themselves. I want to find someone who can carry a conversation, not just a tray of dishes, which means that hiring a fresh, bubbly, somewhat naive employee means you might have to train a little more on the front end, but in the long run, your guests that come in will absolutely love them, which means they will keep coming back, which means you're gonna have more regulars, which is the name of the game. Okay, so that means in order to draw out the personality of each applicant and find out who they really are, you need to ask questions that engage them beyond the mundane, like, what are your 3 greatest strengths and weaknesses? Okay, forgive me, but questions like these are just plain stupid. Okay, questions like this invoked canned, practiced responses that are safe and tell you nothing about the person. Okay, in a nutshell, the better you get at asking the right questions, the better you will be at finding the cream of the crop employees, which leads to less turnover and less interviews for you. Okay, but make no mistake about it. Hiring is just a way of life in this industry, so stop whining, hike up your big girl panties, and get over it. All right, enough chit chat and frivolous babbling. These are some of the best interview questions that I have crafted over time. You are welcome to form similar ones of your own. Just make sure you follow this one philosophy. Create questions that reveal the candidate's personality and level of empathy. Do not ask the same canned questions you find on the internet that are geared toward discovering how much experience they have and things like, if your last boss were to describe you with 3 adjectives, what would they be? Ugh, lame. All right, with that said, off we go. Number 1, who is your best friend? Why is he or she your best friend? Okay, yes, I know this seems like an odd question, but here we are looking for statements of caring, of sentiment, a big heart, and perhaps some storytelling ability. Okay, do his or her eyes light up with passion and love? Okay, or are they like a deer in the headlights? Okay, we want to see if they can carry a conversation right off the bat, especially after being caught off guard with such a non-cliche question. Okay, nobody's asking them this question, right? Can they conversate? That's what we want to know. Okay, number 2, what excites you about this business or this industry? Why did you choose it? This business can often be perceived as beneath real jobs and careers. So I often see candidates show some hesitation about declaring their excitement about serving food and drinks. Okay, we want to see if they come back with a positive response or if they show any hesitation or shame working in an industry that we take pride in. They throw the hesitators out. They don't truly care about your restaurant. Number 3, you have a guest who is angry with the service or the food or the music, etc., and claims they won't be coming back. How do you solve this issue? Any situational question here is good because we can test their common sense and experience at the same time. How hard will they try to satisfy and retain a guest? Will they say to grab a manager, which they always should? Basically, if they have any customer service experience in any industry at all, they've dealt with this issue. So we want to see how they respond. Their goal should be to do anything they can to make the guest happy so they'll come back again. Number 4, what's something you have done in your life that you are particularly proud of? Okay, this one is a bit cliche, but it's still a good one. We want to see how confident they are sharing things about themselves and to find out if they've ever actually done something noteworthy. Okay, if they can't think of anything, it's not likely that they're going to start doing noteworthy things at your bar and restaurant at this point in their lives. Number 5, when you think about this bar or restaurant, what are your impressions of it? What do you like? What would you make better? If this is similar to number 2, but the third question in this set, what would you do to make it better, gives you a chance to see if you have a visionary or a thinker on your hands or someone who just wants to please by giving a pleasant answer. Okay, in their defense, it's difficult to walk into a place and instantly know how to make it better, but anyone who has ideas to make this industry a better place for both the work environment and the guests is gold. Okay, also, if they say that they don't like your bar or restaurant, then they're dead to you. All right, number 6, why should I hire you as opposed to the 10 other people who are interviewing for this job? This question has been around forever and should never go away. You are asking them point blank, sell yourself to me. If they can't, then they don't really have that much confidence in themselves, and a red light should be flashing bright warning signs to you. If they don't believe in themselves with the spotlight on them and everything riding on this moment, then they aren't considered a cream of the cropper. All right, number 7, what are your aspirations for the future? Do you have a field that you are interested in pursuing, or do you have a career in mind? Okay, it's true that you would like to know if they're going to graduate in 3 months and leave you, so you might ask this question, but they're not going to tell you that anyway because they just want the job. More importantly here, this question finds out if they are a motivated person. If they say, I'm not really sure right now, I'm just sort of winging it while I live in my parents' basement. Okay, tell that person, thanks for coming in, but bye-bye. Okay, that sounds harsh, but we need a go-getter. Okay, even if they're wrong about their career, we need someone who is obviously thinking about it and not just floating along like a sandwich baggie in a creek. All right, number 8, if you saw a fellow employee giving away free drinks or stealing, what would you do? The number one problem in bars and restaurants today, employee theft and dishonesty. So this should be a who's buried in Grant's tomb question. If they hesitate at all or dance around the question or give you any other answer than I would report it directly to you, then say good day to you and show them the door. Okay, bar dishonesty and conformity is an epidemic that is contagious. Don't let them in your house. Number 9, if we hired you, how many people do you think you could get to come in each week? How would you do it? All right, I recently started using this question because I realized that some of my most valuable employees were the ones bringing people into the bar. It's like having a built-in marketing agency, okay, and it's free. Okay, many candidates will be thrown by this question, I've noticed, but the ones who don't hesitate, they aren't bullshitting. Okay, they know how many friends they can get in there, and the idea actually excites them. Okay, and this is not a make or break question for hiring them, but I love it when I find a marketer. Okay, and finally, I've saved the best for last as I promised, and this one is not a question, but it is a technique, and it is oh so powerful. Okay, number 10, use a story to reveal how empathetic they are. Okay, you use a story. That's not what you're saying to them. It's not a question. And the reason I bring this up, a few years ago, Delta Airlines came up with a genius hiring strategy. They brought in all the candidates into the room at the same time to answer standard interview questions. They go up one at a time, answer the questions. The rest of them would watch the interview. Okay, these questions were often routine, like, why do you want to work here? Tell us about a customer service challenge you managed, and so on and so forth. But here's the catch. The hiring panel wasn't primarily listening to the answers. They were observing the other candidates' behavior during the questioning. Okay, specifically how they listened to the candidates answering the questions. They were watching for genuine engagement. Did a candidate make eye contact with the speaker? Empathetic reactions. Were they nodding, smiling, showing concern or interest? Team players. Did they react supportively when others spoke or act dismissively? Respective body language. Did someone show impatience or roll their eyes or tune them out? So you can either, bring all of your candidates in on the same day that you're interviewing and do the same thing Delta did, okay? Or you tell a story of your own, okay? Make one up to see if they are engaged. It doesn't matter what it is. See if they have genuine interest. See if they're empathetic in what you're talking about. Okay, do they ask follow-up questions? You can make up any story you want, like, hey, thanks for coming in today. Just a heads up, if I seem a little off or distracted, it's because I got a call right before you walked in. One of our regulars, a guy who's been coming in for years, passed away suddenly this morning. He was kind of like a fixture at our bar, friendly guy, knew everyone's name. We even kept his favorite seat open for him most nights, so really rough. And then just wait a few seconds. Let the silence hang in the air. Do they look truly empathetic? What do they say? Do they ask any follow-up questions? If not, this is probably not the person for you. Use the same criteria that Delta does and really watch them to see if they care or if they can carry on a conversation about this. Okay, that's it for today. I hope this helps you find the best, most awesome and amazing staff on the entire planet, and I hope you make millions and millions of dollars because of it. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. I'm going to see you next time. I'm out.